Lord, would you deny?
سنفرغ لكم أيها الثقلان.
We will attend to you, O prominent beings.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny?
يا معشر الجن والإنس إن استطعتم أن تنفذوا من أقطار السماوات والأرض فانفذوا لا تنفذون إلا بسلطان.
O company of jinn and mankind, if you are able to pass beyond the regions of the heavens and the earth, then pass. You will not pass except by authority from Allah.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny?
يرسل عليكما شواظ من نار ونحاس فلا تنتصران.
There will be sent upon you a flame of fire and smoke, and you will not defend yourselves.
فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان.
So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another episode of the Hijrah channel as we send you peace, love, blessings and greetings from our home village here in Azad, Kashmir. In our previous episodes, we focused on the Zionist movement and the critical link of the Zionist movement to the world order of Gog and Magog, and how they have been waging war upon not only the world of Islam and Muslims, but how they have also been waging war upon Orthodox Christianity. And every single thing that they touch, they corrupt, and a corruption which inevitably corrupts to destroy. Now the Zionist movement are lusting for World War III, and World War III is inevitable. Military analysts who have studied this for many years now are expecting a nuclear war at some point. And with every major event that is taking place in the world now, we are inching a step closer to World War III, commonly known as the Armageddon in Christian eschatology, and the Malhama al-Kubra in Islamic eschatology. Now there are some specific verses in the Quran in various chapters in which my blessed teacher Maulana Sheikh Imran Nazar Hussain highlights, which he believes speak about World War III. And one of those is in Surah Al-Rahman, chapter 55 of the Holy Qur'an, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala repeats the same verse 31 times, specifically فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Which of your favors of your Lord would you therefore deny? Within those verses, there are some verses in which Allah speaks directly to the human beings and the jinn who are in an alliance and in a partnership, i.e. the human beings and the devils. And he challenges them, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you are able to pass and breach the barriers between the earth and the heavens, then by all means do so, but you will not be able to do so without my authority. And what we see in regards to the exploration of space, the space technology, the weapons that have been placed in space by the Zionist elite, have only reached the height of space. One, because they have formed the alliance with the shayateen and the jinn, and thereby they have received the assistance and help of them to advance their technological age, and of course breach the barriers of the sky into space. And second, only with the authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But Allah says one day He will withdraw that authority. Few verses after this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warns that He will send a flash of fire upon these two who are in an alliance and relationship. A flash of fire followed by smoke. And when you connect all the verses of the Holy Qur'an, this does seem what appears to be reference to nuclear war, where a flash of fire refers to the missiles falling from space onto the earth, and then the mushroom clouds being referred to as followed by smoke. We quickly and swiftly move on to Surah Al-Rahman. Every single episode that you may have seen me post on my channel previously, please take whatever the overarching message of that specific video or episode is as to the reasons why I left Britain, because I honestly believe that Allah Almighty is going to unleash His punishment upon Europe, Britain and the United States of America soon. And the reasons of those are highlighted in the Holy Qur'an. Thank you very much. Please remember to like and subscribe to this channel, because I think it is a critical moment in the whole history of mankind, and the importance of hijrah for those who have a desire to protect their faith, protect their iman, and avert and avoid the punishment of Allah Almighty. Thank you. There is one thing I forgot to mention. That verse, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, is repeated 31 times in Surah Al-Rahman, 31 times. And those who study the Holy Qur'an will know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very economical when it comes to using words to describe a situation. Very seldom He repeats the same verse over and over. And this is a message, because at the start of Surah Al-Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it is He who teaches the Quran. So here He is teaching us, and He is knocking at the door 31 times to emphasize and to really drill into us that the verses that follow فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ, for us to pay extraordinary attention to these verses. Incidentally, when you look at the Zionist military force, otherwise known as NATO, NATO forces which have been waging war for the past, since its existence really. Of course, when you look at the Middle East, the likes of Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya, Pakistan, all these countries in these regions, NATO forces have been bombing. It is interesting to note that the current member states of NATO amount to exactly 31 countries. There you have 31 فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ repeated 31 times. Here you have 31 member states of the Zionist military arm NATO, which has been oppressing the innocent people across the world, committing bloodshed. I think that's very interesting. And what we see in the Holy Land and what we see the Zionist state of Israel doing today is obviously their aims to pursue their biblical frontiers, although the people who are running the state of Israel have no link to Judaism. They are Ashkenazi, European Jews, have no Semitic link to the Holy Land or that religion indeed. I thought this was an important point to highlight, and thereby even more critical as to how imminent World War III or nuclear war is. Thank you.
So when Allah repeats something in the Qur'an, you must know there must be a very good reason for it. And so why is Surah Al-Rahman so strange? Why is it that he repeats 31 times? فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ? If I have never asked myself that question, I'm still a schoolboy. Yes. I'm just scratching the Qur'an. I've not yet begun to study the Qur'an. If I've never asked myself the question, why has Allah repeated فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا 31 times? فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ? Allah sent down the Qur'an لِقَوْمِ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ, to a people who think. Allah asks us in this surah to think 31 times. We do not have the time today to go through this surah. But in this surah, he's sending a message concerning the Great War. But you got to learn to connect the dots. You have to use proper methodology for the study of the Qur'an. Surah Al-Rahman. You will see where Surah Al-Rahman is directing us not only to the Great War, but also informing us that Allah is going to intervene in this Great War with two people to punish them. This is why it's always فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا رَبِّكُمَا رَبِّكُمَا, two of you. Who are the two? And the verse says, يَا مَعْشَرَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. يَا مَعْشَرَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ. Allah is speaking of an alliance of two wicked people. Two evil people. One who are human beings and the other who are jinn, shayateen. And they are in alliance with each other. And these are the people who are going to be attacked by Allah, most of all in the Great War. And who are these? يَا مَعْشَرَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ إِنِ اسْتَطَعْتُمْ أَن تَنْفُذُوا مِنْ أَقْطَارِ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. There you are. There will be a people who will dazzle the world with their exploration of space and the depths of the sea and the depths of the earth. A scientific and technological revolution that takes over the skies, and they control the skies. Again, it's the West. And so we realize now that the Western world and the scientific and technological revolution, which is still emerging from the West, is not taking place in a vacuum, but that there are extraterrestrial forces at work, aiding and assisting and guiding the scientific and technological revolution. يُرْسَلُ عَلَيْكُمَا شُوَازٌ مِّن نَّارٍ وَنُحَاسٌ فَلَا تَنْتَصِرَانِ. Allah is going to send against you a flash of fire, and it will be followed by smoke, and there will be none to help you. And we say that looks very much like nuclear war. سَنَفْرُغُ لَكُمْ أَيُّهَا الثَّقَلَانِ. I'm going to deal with both of you, O you who are laden with sin. That's Surah Al-Rahman. And so when in Surah Al-Isra of the Qur'an, Allah speaks of destroying every town and every city. And we say it will have to be towns and cities which are earmarked for destruction, which deserve to be destroyed, we conclude that the West is number one on the list. The West is number one on the list. A nuclear war would be one in which nuclear powers will use every single nuclear weapon that they possibly can use, because it's going to be a fight to the finish. And so the world can now expect that if a nuclear war were to take place, excuse me, too late now to say if, rather it should be when the nuclear war takes place. The only ones who don't know that the nuclear war is coming are those, Roti Chanai, Tetari people. When the nuclear war takes place, because they've already declared war on Russia. If you're living in France and Britain and in Western Europe, and if you don't know that your leaders have declared war on Russia, and the nuclear war is now inevitable, and when that nuclear war takes place, that thousands of nuclear weapons will explode. If you don't know that, then you are living in dreamland. And if you hope to survive in Western Europe, you're also living in dreamland. That's the price you pay for having Zionist rulers ruling over you. That's the price. I hope you're listening to me, Europe. I hope you're listening to me in Europe. And I hope you're listening to me in the United States and Canada. That is the price that you will pay for having those ruling over you, who are ruling on behalf of the Zionists, who are Zionists. And the nuclear war is now inevitable. The war which is coming, the big nuclear war which is coming, to which we'll refer subsequently, inshallah, is meant to deliver to Israel something called Pax Judaica, which will replace Pax Americana, which itself replaced Pax Britannica. That's why they want the big war. The war is coming because Russia is challenging their bogus monetary system, that's why. It's not because of Syria. It's not because of Ukraine. It's because of something called BRICS. And so I